Introduction to a World Apart. Ethiopia does not move to the rhythm of the modern world. It keeps its own time. Here, a year has 13 months. The calendar runs years behind the one used by most of the planet, and the day does not begin at midnight. It begins with sunrise, when the first light touches the hills, the valleys, and the ancient roads that have carried pilgrims, kings, traders, and shepherds for thousands of years. To arrive in Ethiopia is not just to visit another country. It is to step into another way of understanding time itself. This is a land where history does not feel buried, it feels alive. In the burning deserts of the Afar region, scientists found some of the oldest traces of human ancestry ever discovered. Remains that reach back more than 3 million years. In the highlands, churches are carved into stone. In the mountains, rare animals survive on the edge of cliffs. In the south, ancient cultures still paint identity onto the human body. Ethiopia is not simply a destination. It is one of the great origin stories of the world, and hidden across its mountains, deserts, cities, and valleys are places so unusual, so powerful, and so deeply human, they feel almost impossible. This is Ethiopia, a world apart. Lalibela, faith carved into the earth. Some places are built upward, reaching for the sky. Lalibela was carved downward into the earth. High in the mountains of northern Ethiopia, 11 ancient churches lie hidden inside solid volcanic rock. From above, they almost disappear into the landscape. But when you walk closer, the ground suddenly opens, revealing crosses, courtyards, tunnels, and entire sanctuaries cut directly from stone. These churches were not assembled block by block. They were carved from the living rock itself. More than 800 years ago, workers shaped each church by removing the earth around it, cutting downward with extraordinary patience and precision. What remained was not just architecture, but devotion made visible. At the center of this sacred world stands the most famous church of all, the Church of St. George. Shaped like a perfect cross, it sinks deep into the ground, surrounded by vertical walls of red stone. There are no separate bricks, no added columns, no imported marble, just one continuous piece of rock, transformed into a house of worship. Historians believe King Lalibela of the Zagwe dynasty ordered the creation of these churches in the late 12th and early 13th centuries. His dream was to build a New Jerusalem in Africa, a holy city for Ethiopian Christians. But in Lalibela, history and legend are inseparable. Local tradition says the churches were carved by human hands during the day and by angels during the night. Whether you see that as myth, faith, or poetry, the result is undeniable. Lalibela still lives. Pilgrims dressed in white robes move quietly through its stone corridors. Priests chant in ancient rhythms. Candles flicker in dark chapels carved beneath the surface of the earth. Here, faith is not displayed. It is embedded. In Lalibela, belief was not built with bricks. It was carved into the bones of the earth. The ancient kingdom of Axum and its unsolved mysteries. Long before Ethiopia became a modern nation, there was Axum, and Axum was powerful. Between the 1st and 7th centuries, the kingdom of Axum controlled trade routes linking Africa, Arabia, and the Mediterranean. Its merchants moved ivory, gold, incense, and luxury goods across the Red Sea. Its rulers minted coins. Its influence reached far beyond the highlands of Ethiopia. At its height, Axum was considered one of the great powers of the ancient world. But what makes Axum unforgettable is not only what it controlled, it is what still stands. Across the landscape rise massive stone obelisks, tall granite stelae carved from single blocks of stone. Some reach more than 24 meters, or nearly 80 feet, into the sky. They look like towers, but they were built for the dead. These monuments marked ancient royal tombs, standing above burial chambers that still hold pieces of a lost world. Their surfaces are carved to resemble multi-story buildings, with false doors and windows facing eternity. No one can stand before them without wondering the same thing. How did they move stone this massive? How did they carve it so precisely? And what kind of civilization could imagine monuments like these? Yet Axum's greatest mystery may not be in the stone. It may be hidden behind the walls of the Church of St. Mary of Zion. According to Ethiopian tradition, Axum is the resting place of the Ark of the Covenant, the sacred chest said to contain the stone tablets of the Ten Commandments. No one is allowed to see it. It is said to be guarded by a single monk, chosen for life, who never leaves the chapel grounds. There are no photographs, no scientific tests, no public verification, only faith. To outsiders, it is a mystery. To believers, it is a sacred truth, and that is what makes Axum so powerful. It is not just an empire that faded. It is a place where history, religion, and silence still protect one another. Axum is not only a ruin, it is a secret still guarded by time. The ancient temple of Yeha, a voice from the dawn of time. Before Axum, before the great Christian kingdoms, before many of Ethiopia's written histories, there was Yeha. In the northern region of Tigray, surrounded by rugged hills and dry stone landscapes, stands the great temple of Yeha, the oldest standing structure in Ethiopia. It dates back to around the 7th century BCE. That means it has stood for more than 700 years. The temple is built from massive limestone blocks, some weighing several tons. Its walls rise more than 14 meters high, and what makes them remarkable is not just their age, but their precision. The stones were cut and stacked without mortar. No cement, no modern reinforcement. Only balance, weight, and design. And somehow, after nearly 3,000 years of wind, heat, war, and silence, the walls still stand. Archaeologists believe the temple may have been dedicated to a moon deity, connected to ancient South Arabian cultures across the Red Sea. Its architecture suggests Ethiopia was never isolated. Even in the ancient world, this region was part of a larger network of trade, belief, and movement between Africa and Arabia. But much about Yeha remains unknown. Who exactly built it? What language did they speak? What ceremonies took place inside its walls? No complete record survives. Only the stone remains. And maybe that is why Yeha feels so haunting. It does not explain itself. It simply stands there, quiet, ancient, and impossible to ignore. Yeha is not just a ruin. It is a doorway into the beginning of Ethiopian civilization, a voice from a time before memory. The Simian Mountains, life on the edge of the abyss. In northern Ethiopia, the earth breaks open. The Simian Mountains rise like a fortress carved by time. Jagged peaks, deep valleys, and cliffs that drop suddenly into the clouds. This is one of Africa's most dramatic landscapes. Over millions of years, erosion shaped the mountains into sharp ridges and massive escarpments. Some cliffs fall more than 1,500 meters, nearly 5,000 feet, into the valleys below. Standing at the edge, the world seems to disappear beneath your feet. The air is thin, the wind is cold, the light changes fast. Mist can swallow an entire valley in seconds. And yet, life survives here. One of the most famous animals of the Simian Mountains is the gelada monkey, sometimes called the bleeding heart monkey because of the bright red patch on its chest. Geladas are found only in the Ethiopian highlands. Unlike most primates, they spend much of their day grazing on grass, moving in large troops across the high mountain slopes. They sit calmly near cliffs that would terrify most animals, picking through the grass just steps from a deadly fall. The simians are also home to rare species like the Walia ibex and the Ethiopian wolf, animals adapted to a high-altitude world found nowhere else on Earth. This is why the Simian Mountains are recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. But beauty here is never gentle. The mountains are breathtaking but unforgiving. Every cliff, every storm, every sudden shift in weather is a reminder that survival here is earned. In the Simien Mountains, life does not simply exist. It holds on, quietly, stubbornly, at the edge of the abyss. The royal enclosure of Gondar, a throne carved into stone. In the highlands of northern Ethiopia stands a city that feels almost unexpected, Gondar, founded in the 17th century by Emperor Fasilides. Gondar became the capital of Ethiopia and the center of imperial power. Before Gondar, Ethiopian rulers often moved from place to place, living in royal camps and tent cities. But Gondar changed that. Here, power became permanent. At the heart of the city lies Fasal Gebi, a walled royal enclosure filled with castles, halls, towers, churches, and stone passageways. It is one of the most extraordinary architectural sites in Africa. The buildings blend Ethiopian, Portuguese, and Baroque influences. Their stone walls, arched windows, and battlements seem at first to belong to medieval Europe. But the soul of the place is unmistakably Ethiopian, shaped by Orthodox Christianity, imperial ambition, and highland identity. For centuries, emperors ruled from here. Banquets were held in great halls. Diplomats entered through stone gates. Ceremonies filled the courtyards. Soldiers guarded the walls. Gondar was not just a capital. It was a statement. A kingdom that once moved with the seasons had decided to build for eternity. Nearby stands the famous Debri Berhan Selassie Church, known for its unforgettable ceiling covered with rows of painted angelic faces. Their eyes look down from above, calm and watchful, as if they have seen every king, every prayer, every passing century. Today, Gondar is quieter. The royal voices are gone. The halls no longer echo with commands. But the stones remember. In Gondar, Ethiopia did not just build castles. It built a throne out of stone. The Danakil Depression, a fierce alien landscape. There are harsh places on Earth, and then there is the Danakil Depression. Located in northeastern Ethiopia, The Danakil is one of the hottest, lowest, and most extreme environments on the planet. Parts of it sit more than 120 meters below sea level. Temperatures can rise above 45 degrees Celsius, or 113 degrees Fahrenheit. But the heat is only part of the story. What makes Danakil unforgettable is its color. The ground bubbles with mineral-rich hydrothermal activity. Acid pools glow in shades of yellow, green, and orange. Sulfur formations rise like broken sculptures. Steam and toxic gases drift across the surface. It does not look like Earth. It looks like another planet. Scientists study this region because some of its extreme environments may resemble conditions found on Mars. Microorganisms that survive here challenge what we think life can endure. But the Danakil is not only a place of science, it is also a place of human endurance. For centuries, the Afar people have crossed this brutal landscape in salt caravans. Camels move slowly across the white desert, carrying blocks of salt cut by hand from the earth. There are few roads, little shade, almost no comfort, just heat, salt, distance, and discipline. The work is ancient, exhausting, and dangerous, yet for many Afar communities, it remains a way of life. In Danakil, nature does not welcome you. It tests you. It strips the world down to its rawest elements: fire, salt, stone, and survival. This is not simply a desert. It is Earth showing one of its most violent and alien faces. Harar, the maze, city of ancient walls. Some cities spread outward. Harar turns inward. In eastern Ethiopia, behind ancient defensive walls, lies one of the most unique cities in Africa. Harar Jugol, the old walled city, has protected its identity for more than 500 years. It is recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site and is often considered one of the great centers of Islamic culture in the Horn of Africa. Step through one of its historic gates, and the world changes. The streets narrow. The pace slows. The city becomes a maze. Harar is famous for its hundreds of tight alleyways, where colorful houses press close together, and every turn reveals a doorway, a courtyard, a shrine, or a quiet corner of daily life. Pink, blue, white, and green walls glow in the sun. Markets fill with spices, coffee, textiles, and voices. The call to prayer moves through the streets like a thread tying the city together. Harar is home to many mosques and shrines, and faith here is not separate from everyday life. It is built into the rhythm of the city. But at night, Harar reveals something even more unusual. Outside the old walls, wild hyenas approach. For generations, local hyena men have fed them by hand. The ritual is believed to help protect the city and maintain peace between humans and the wild. To outsiders, it can seem dangerous. To Harar, it is tradition, a fragile agreement between fear and trust, between the city and the darkness beyond its walls. Harar is not just a historic city. It is a living manuscript, written in stone, prayer, color, and night. The Tia megaliths, an unread message in stone. South of Addis Ababa, in a quiet field of grass, stand ancient stones that no one fully understands. This is Tia. At first, the site looks simple. Carved stone pillars rising from the earth, some more than 5 meters tall. But the longer you look, the more mysterious it becomes. The stelae are marked with symbols, lines, circles, shapes, and repeated sword-like designs. Archaeologists believe they may date from around the 12th to 14th centuries and were likely connected to burial sites. Human remains have been found beneath some of the stones, so we know they were linked to death. But beyond that, the story becomes uncertain. Who carved them? What did the symbols mean? Were they signs of warriors, leaders, families, or beliefs? No written explanation has survived. No full translation exists. The stones stand like a message sent across centuries without a key. That is what makes Tia so powerful. It reminds us that not every civilization leaves behind a clear voice. Some leave only marks. Some leave silence. Some leave questions that outlive the people who asked them. Tia is not just an archaeological site. It is an unfinished conversation with the past. A message in stone, still waiting to be read. The Omo Valley, the eternal canvas of humanity. In southern Ethiopia, far from the country's ancient churches and mountain castles, The Omo Valley opens into one of the most culturally diverse regions on Earth. Here, along the Omo River, live communities whose identities have been shaped over centuries by land, water, ceremony, and survival. Among them are the Homar, Karo, Dasanek, and many others, each with distinct languages, traditions, styles, and ways of seeing the world. In the Omo Valley, the human body becomes a canvas. The Karo paint their skin with white chalk and natural pigments, creating bold patterns for ceremony, beauty, and identity. The Hamar are known for elaborate hairstyles, often shaped with ochre and butter. The Dasanek transform everyday materials, even metal scraps and bottle caps, into striking ornaments. To an outsider, these details may look decorative, but they are much more than fashion. They are language. They speak of age, status, beauty, courage, belonging, and memory. Rituals here carry deep meaning. Among the Hamar, young men take part in the bull jumping ceremony, a coming-of-age test that marks the transition into adulthood. The young man must run across the backs of lined-up cattle without falling. If he succeeds, he earns the right to marry and takes a new place within the community. If he fails, he must wait and try again. The entire village becomes part of the moment, singing, watching, celebrating, judging, remembering. But life in the Omo Valley is changing. Modern pressures, climate stress, tourism, development, and outside influence are reshaping the region. Traditions that survived for centuries now face an uncertain future. And yet, culture here is not something locked away in a museum. It is lived every day. In the Omo Valley, identity is not only inherited, it is painted, sung, worn, tested, and passed on. This is humanity not as history, but as a living canvas. Conclusion: Ethiopia is not a place you simply visit. It is a place that challenges the way you see the world. It is ancient and alive, harsh and beautiful, sacred and mysterious. A country where churches are carved into the earth, castles rise from highland stone, deserts glow like alien planets, and cultures still carry the memory of humanity's oldest stories. From Lalabila's underground sanctuaries to the salt caravans of Danakil, from the cliffs of the Simeon Mountains to the painted traditions of the Omo Valley, Ethiopia reveals a side of Earth that feels almost hidden from time. This is not the Ethiopia most people imagine. It is deeper, older, stranger. and far more powerful. So if this journey opened your eyes to a world you had never seen before, take a moment to like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to True Earth for more stories from the planet's most extraordinary places. And tell us below, which hidden wonder of Ethiopia surprised you the most? Because some places are not just destinations. Some places are reminders of where we came from, what we still do not understand, and how much of the world is still waiting to be discovered.